Hey everybody, Steven here, and today I'm talking about an email that I got from Amazon in regards to my Evlution Nutrition BCAA energy supplement that I just got in here. And it actually has to do with something in regards to a recall. So the FDA actually did a recall on certain products that actually are the ingredients going into this. So it's not against this company directly, but where they're sourcing their ingredients for this. So this has branched chain amino acids in it, and then after that we have carnosine, which is it's actually a trademark name, but that's beta alanine, L-alanine, taurine. Then it has natural caffeine, green tea extract, and just some minerals in it, and really just some electrolytes with this. But the email says, we have learned of a potential safety issue that may impact your Amazon purchases, which is listed below right here. And then it doesn't really give you any info. It just says more details here, and you click on the link, and then it actually takes you to the FDA website where they actually have an article telling you what's going on. And so this is in regard to ABH Nature's products. I went to the website there, and it's for these three companies here. They are the people making, like I said, the actual ingredients going into these products here. So you have ABH Nature's Products Inc., ABH Pharma Inc., and StockNutra.com Inc. So the big thing here, as you read through the article, is it saying that these companies don't sell, the ones that they're mentioning, they don't sell directly to consumers. They, like I said, sell to these other companies here. But the companies are notifying its distributors and customers via email and is arranging for the return of all recalled products. And the big thing here is essentially the amounts. It kind of alludes to them like almost like microdosing with this. Nobody's been reported of illness or injury with this, but, and it says right here, manufacturing practices that are not in adequate control represent the possibility of risk being introduced into the manufacturing process, resulting in finished supplement products with decreased identity, purity, strength, and composition. So that, like I said, leads me to the notion, okay, that's kind of like microdosing. If you don't have that full control over that, you don't know exactly if you're getting what is in here. But that brings me to a bigger notion, and I talk about supplements and I've reviewed them on this channel here, but for anybody that's watched Bigger, Stronger, Faster, and I'm going to put a link for the video here, and this actually talks about, and it's just the small snippet where they're talking about supplements. Our current industry is not regulated by the FDA. Matter of fact, the FDA has to prove that a supplement doesn't have what it actually has in it, versus the other way around. When you deal with food, you have to prove that your food is safe. It gets approved by the FDA or drug, and then they actually you get to produce it and sell it. This is the other way around. The FDA has to go around and prove that this is unsafe and that it doesn't actually have the ingredients in it that it purports to have with this. So now it's, why do we have this current structure that we have with this? Why isn't it regulated? And that all has to do with one particular senator right here. Orrin Hatch is a senator from Utah, and in 1994 he passed the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act of 1994. And with that, what it really says is, hey, we don't need the FDA to regulate supplements. Let's just let it regulate itself, essentially. And because of that, it's an unregulated industry that in 2008, Bigger, Stronger, Faster came out. They said it was a $24 billion a year industry. I haven't looked into it now. I know it's much, much greater than that, because their figures would come from 2007 if they came out, if the documentary came out in 2008. But it's a multi-billion dollar market. And the senator did this because a lot of these companies went to Utah. At the time, 25% of supplements made in the US were coming out of Utah. So it's big business for his state at the detriment of the industry. Now, they get to hide behind proprietary blends, but Jim Stepani, I think, has been a bigger pioneer with, hey, saying, I'm going to tell you exactly what's in my stuff, and I'm going to make sure that I give you the sources from where I'm getting this stuff, and I'm going to try to legitimize this as much as possible. And then the rest of these companies followed suit because people want to know what's in the supplement. but it's still not regulated. I talk about the supplements on here, and that's one of the things I try to at least touch on briefly. None of this stuff is regulated, and that is concerning. And it's concerning as somebody that consumes these products, but also that talks about these products as well. I can't have full faith in any product because of that, because it's not regulated, right? They can microdose, right, with any of this stuff. They call it pixie dusting. They'll tell you that they have 5 grams of creatine and they really have half a gram or 1 gram, and the rest of it's like rice powder or something like that. Now, if I'm doing a drink, it's a little bit different. They're gonna have to put some of this in there, because otherwise you're gonna tell really, really quick if it's got rice flour in it, right? But pills, they can do that easily with, and here maybe it's just not the same amounts, right? The quality control isn't there. And I like taking supplements. I tell people that it is a supplement to your diet. It is not your diet, but being realistic with what you're getting is something that you have to do with this. You have to do a little bit of research. Are these companies credible with this? You like to hope. I was hoping. Yeah, I haven't seen anything negative, but then you read this stuff, right? And it has to do with the companies that they're sourcing this from. But it's of concern with this. Now, should you stop taking supplements? It's your money. Do what you want with it, right? I've shifted over the last couple years to green supplements where, hey, maybe I can get some spirulina, chlorella, or something like that in it, and maybe some of the foundational stuff, creatine, glutamine, maybe some amino acids, a couple things here and there, and really with any of those, caffeine if I'm going to do it. I'm drinking this because it has caffeine in it, and that's about it. The other stuff is awesome in here, has good ratios, has all that other stuff, but I also know there is that potential that it's not really in here at all. Like I said, they could microdose, they could pixie dust, they could do all these different things. They could say that these things are in there and they're not in there at all. So that is something that I always keep in the back of my mind. And doing these reviews on the channel, talking to you guys about them, telling you, hey, I like this thing, I always keep that in the back of my mind. I want to do a better job of telling you guys that up front, because you could probably just go eat food, honestly. And I say that a lot with the BCAA stuff, like, you probably don't need it, right? But some people want to do it. So how does it taste, right? That's the bigger thing. It has some caffeine in it. This is what the caffeine is going to do for you. It has citrulline malate. This is what the citrulline malate does for you. These are the studies that have been done at the effective dose. This is what the effective dose should be. But in the backdrop of all that is, even if it says it, it may not be in there. So, like I said, I want to do a better job of making sure that I am more upfront with that, with these reviews, and letting you guys know, hey, this is what's going on. And this was a perfect opportunity to do it with this stuff getting recalled. Am I going to send this back? And if it has a caffeine in it, I'll know, because when I take it, I'll get some energy from it. And the rest of it, like I said, is really just the amino acids. I eat enough food. I don't really need the branched chain amino acids with this. I'm not training hard enough to really push myself to try and get more in training, and I'm not doing a bodybuilding show, and I'm not doing all these other things. So looking at this, the money for me is, it's my cup of coffee for the day. I don't want to do the coffee. I just want to do this. So taking that same framework and talking about the next supplement is where I want to kind of move forward with this, regardless of what it is. I do always encourage you guys, look into these companies as best you can, right? And the sad part is even with that, they may still be lying. They may be lying about where they're sourcing everything. You could reach out to the company too, but then that becomes a lot of work on your end as the consumer to make sure that this is legit. Is this even what it purports to be? So that is it. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear your thoughts on this, some feedback on this, start a dialogue. I'm going to put a link for all of this stuff, right? I'm going to put a link for the YouTube video here. I'm going to put a link for the FDA article as well, talking about all of this, so you guys can kind of thumb through that. It's a short art. It's not long. That's it right there. So, and this one is short as well. It's not incredibly long. It's really just talking about Orrin Hatch here. And really, the small snippet that I'm looking at is they act that he passed in 1994 in regards to the supplement. So that is it, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all of my content, hit the subscribe button for me. Thanks so much for watching.